The ticket price. This does not shock me at all. What did I say earlier? The WNBA was about to F around and find out, and these rival teams were going to be in a lot of trouble. Well, they're finding...
The lights briefly went out, but in that moment, it felt like the WNBA had finally shattered the ceiling. The energy from the crowd surged, and suddenly, everything aligned. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe my channel for more awesome content. Thanks. After years of struggling for recognition, fighting for headlines, packed arenas, and cultural relevance, it finally felt like the league had arrived. Viewership numbers soared, tickets were selling out, and the excitement spilled over into homes, social media, stadiums, and national broadcasts. This wasn't just hype. History was unfolding. Then, just as quickly, everything shifted. A simple headline announced a star player would be out for a few weeks. There was only a short update, no major league response, and no serious injury. But it triggered an unexpected ripple effect. Ticket sales dropped, fan engagement dipped, and merchandise sales slowed. What once looked like a thriving empire started to crack, like watching a tall tower sway after one crucial brick was removed. And in that moment, a pressing question emerged. Was this explosive growth in women's basketball truly sustainable? Or was it all riding on the shoulders of one extraordinary player? The silence that followed spoke volumes. The decline revealed just how heavily the league's momentum rested on one individual. More than anything, this reality is forcing the WNBA into an uncomfortable position, one that suggests its future might be far more fragile than fans and officials would care to admit.
The Caitlin Clark effect has been a net positive for the WNBA and all of its teams. But the star guard expected to miss a minimum of 2 weeks. The league will see the flip side of her impact, and there are already initial data points. This is front office sports, no conspiracies, no BS from them. Statistical.
Before the rumors of a possible exit even began, the WNBA was riding an incredible wave of momentum. Every Indiana Fever game had turned into a must-see spectacle. Courtside seats were commanding higher prices, and tickets were selling out fast, some going for more than $80 just for general entry. The buzz wasn't just talk. The energy was electric and unstoppable, pushing opposing teams and venue managers to take bold steps in hopes of cashing in. Take the Chicago Sky, for example. They didn't just tweak their plans, they made a dramatic shift. They moved their matchup with the Fever from the intimate 2,400-seat Wintrust Arena to the massive 21,000-seat United Center. It was a calculated gamble, betting that Caitlin Clark's star power alone could fill a venue designed for NBA games and sold-out concerts. This wasn't just about finding a bigger space, it was about banking on one athlete's ability to draw crowds and supercharge the league. And make no mistake, everyone knew exactly who fans were coming to see.
To hit the panic button 48 hours after news hits that Caitlin Clark is injured and she'll be missing 2 weeks, the market has responded and the market has told the WNBA, we don't want this. We want her, but we don't want.
Then came the moment when everything shifted. What started as a minor rumor quickly exploded into widespread news. Caitlin Clark, the unstoppable force behind the WNBA's surge in popularity, was sidelined. And almost instantly, the league's vibrant energy evaporated. It wasn't a gradual decline, it was immediate. The market responded with brutal clarity. Without her, the WNBA didn't carry the same weight. The silence that followed was both jarring and disheartening. Crowds disappeared, ticket prices nosedived, and the once insatiable demand seemed to vanish overnight. Consider the highly anticipated matchup at the United Center between the Chicago Sky and Indiana Fever. Tickets that initially started at $86 plummeted to just $25 within hours, a staggering 71% drop. It was a crushing blow for organizers who had confidently banked on a sellout. And it didn't stop there. When the Fever traveled to face the Washington Mystics, the same pattern repeated: empty seats and slashed prices. It wasn't an isolated dip, it was a sobering reality check. The league's sudden vulnerability made one thing clear. The surge wasn't built on a solid foundation, but on the shoulders of one extraordinary athlete.
Chicago Sky can't sell out their own 9,000-something seat arena like it is. They couldn't when they were kind of decent. They're a dumpster fire now. And now that Caitlin Clark is injured, the ticket prices for the Fever and Sky game just plummeted to Hades.
What had once been a hot ticket priced at $41 quickly lost its allure, dropping to just $22, a dramatic 47% decrease. It was the kind of sudden drop that leaves both box offices and fans stunned. And this wasn't limited to a single game. Zooming out reveals the bigger picture. Over a 2-week span, the average ticket price for 5 major Indiana Fever games had soared to nearly $137. But once the injury news broke, that average plunged to just $80, a sharp 42% drop in less than 2 weeks. It was a clear and unforgiving response from the market, showing just how fragile the surge in demand truly was.
They stink now. Yeah, it's about me too. No, it's not.
This wasn't just a slight dip in enthusiasm. It was a loud, unmistakable message from fans. No Caitlin Clark, no tickets. The demand was crystal clear. People weren't simply showing up to support the WNBA. They were coming to see her. And the shift in atmosphere was palpable the moment she wasn't in the lineup. Even before tip-off, the buzz had faded. It felt like the energy had been sucked out of the building, like the air had quietly leaked from a balloon. That uneasy stillness spoke volumes. While everyone was celebrating the league's rapid rise, a deeper truth was being exposed. The surge wasn't as solid as it appeared. Beneath all the excitement, there was a fragile reality. This explosive growth wasn't being fueled by broad, league-wide interest. It was largely riding on the shoulders of one unstoppable star.
To games over the next 2 weeks have dropped 42% since Caitlin Clark's injury announcement, an average ticket price of $137, all the way down to $80.
This wasn't just about a superstar missing a few games. It was a harsh, unfiltered spotlight on the WNBA's most pressing vulnerability. The numbers didn't lie. They confirmed what many suspected, but few were willing to say out loud. The truth was cold, sharp, and inescapable. The league is overwhelmingly dependent on Caitlin Clark. She's not just a player. She's the engine driving everything. The rest of the league seems to orbit around her, hoping to catch even a spark of the energy she generates. The packed arenas, the viral clips, the surging ticket sales. Many saw these as signs that the WNBA was entering a new, transformative chapter. A long overdue breakthrough for women's basketball. But this moment exposed a painful truth. Nearly all of that momentum rested on the shoulders of one generational talent. When she's not on the court, the league doesn't just lose its spark. It loses its sense of identity. Because the WNBA, as it stands, lacks a deep bench of equally magnetic, marketable stars to carry the torch. That's the real issue. It's not something a viral highlight or flashy promo can fix. It's a structural challenge, and a warning that without broader star power, the league's future remains uncertain.
People are selling their tickets, definitely can't get face value, so what do? They just continue to lower and lower and lower and lower and lower the price. This isn't all resellers, folks. Hate to break it to you. A majority of these are everyday normal people. A majority of these are everyday normal people who watch Caitlin Clark in Iowa, watch her in her first year in Indiana, said, man, I want to watch that. I want to go to those games. I want to experience that. They won't be able to experience it.
It was an unavoidable wake-up call for the WNBA. If Caitlin Clark's brief absence could trigger such a dramatic drop in interest, what did that say about the league's overall foundation? This wasn't just about missing a few games, it exposed serious cracks in the league's commercial strategy. The ripple effects were undeniable. Ticket sales, fan excitement, and even the league's broader financial outlook took a hit. Marquee matchups like the Chicago Sky vs. Indiana Fever, which had come to symbolize the WNBA's renewed momentum, suddenly lost their luster. The buzz vanished. Where fans once packed arenas, rows of empty seats painted a stark new picture. It wasn't just that the numbers were falling, it was the atmosphere itself that was unraveling. Even casual fans could feel the shift. This wasn't a typical star injury where support continues out of loyalty or habit. It felt different. It felt fragile. The league, in real time, was witnessing its big bet on Clark's star power falter. Without her, the magic faded. The idea that one superstar could carry the weight of an entire league proved unsustainable under pressure. And as the spotlight dimmed, many teams scrambled to stay relevant in the silence she left behind.
I mean, it's more statistical proof, data, to confirm exactly what we've been saying, that Caitlin Clark is driving this whole ship, this whole bus. She's driving it. Everybody else get in the back.
Even after Caitlin Clark suddenly stepped out of the spotlight, interest in the WNBA didn't vanish, it simply shifted, landing squarely on Angel Reese. Many saw her as the natural heir to the moment. With her undeniable charisma, bold presence, and trend-setting style, she had already become a recognizable name far beyond the court. Reese had built a powerful personal brand, one that resonated with fans who saw her as more than just an athlete. She was a cultural force. Her fearless attitude and headline-grabbing confidence, including her now famous claim that people tuned into the WNBA because of her, only amplified her visibility. That kind of boldness was exactly what the league needed in the aftermath of Clark's sudden absence. The WNBA quickly turned its focus to Reese, hoping her rising stardom could generate the same sellout crowds, viral moments, and national attention that Clark had consistently delivered. But a pressing question now hung in the air. Could Angel Reese truly carry the weight of those expectations and keep the momentum alive?
The marquee matchup in the WNBA, like it or love it, rivalry or not, Chicago Sky, Indiana Fever, Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, that is the marquee matchup in the WNBA, and those tickets are crashing just as well. From $86 48 hours ago to $25. And by the time June 7th rolls around, it might cost you a bag of Skittles and some Lay's potato chips to get in there.
But this is where the numbers began telling a very different and unsettling story. With Caitlin Clark off the court, all eyes turned to Angel Reese. The pressure was immense, and expectations sky-high. This was her opportunity to prove she could ignite the same kind of energy, fuel ticket sales, and command the spotlight with equal force. But the market responded, and its verdict was blunt, unmistakable, and unkind. Take the highly anticipated United Center showdown between the Chicago Sky and Indiana Fever. It was supposed to be a landmark event, a marquee clash between Reese and Clark, played in a massive NBA-caliber arena. The league had grand expectations, a packed house, national buzz, and a symbolic moment for women's basketball. But the instant Clark was ruled out, the vision unraveled. Ticket demand plunged, and the buzz faded almost immediately. The massive venue, once expected to roar with excitement, now felt cavernous and eerily quiet. And this wasn't a one-off. The same trend played out elsewhere. Even high-profile matchups like the Baltimore showdown between the Fever and the Mystics couldn't escape the downturn. Despite heavy promotion and Reese being billed as the star attraction, the numbers told the story. A $41 ticket dropped to just $22, a staggering 47% fall. Even in regions where Reese had strong personal ties and top billing, the spark just didn't catch. On paper, the excitement was there. But in practice, the fan fervor wasn't. Reese's presence alone wasn't enough to reignite the fire that Caitlin Clark had sparked. The enthusiasm didn't follow, at least not yet.
And we have plenty of evidence that proves Angel Reese is not qualified to carry the league.
Then came an uncomfortable silence following Caitlin Clark's injury. Angel Reese, known for her bold confidence and loud personality, suddenly grew unusually quiet as ticket sales plummeted and fan interest sharply declined. Both league insiders and supporters began to worry about this silence. Was Reese intentionally holding back to avoid tough questions, or did her quiet reveal the immense weight of expectations she was struggling to carry? The pressure was enormous, so much so that even Reese, with all her poise, might have felt overwhelmed. Reese found herself in a difficult position. She was undeniably a major public figure, constantly in the headlines. Yet she was being asked to step into Clark's shoes and bear the league's entire financial hopes on her shoulders. The numbers were clear and unyielding. She simply couldn't carry the league alone. The stark gap between Reese's fame and her ability to consistently boost ticket sales was impossible to ignore. Compared to Clark, the contrast was unmistakable, revealing a tough reality that both Reese and the league would have to confront head-on.